From Hollywood, California, welcome to Razor Riffs with your host, Keith Reza.
Alicia,
Alicia, there you go.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. My gosh, so good to finally meet you.
Yeah.
Ah, I like your the folks at home can't see this, but I like your tiger behind your bed or whatever, like the what is that? The bed frame? It's like a
It's actually an art piece that, oh, I don't know, I'll show it to you. Only men can normally get it.
oh,
It's a sculpture.
it's a sculpture. Okay.
Hey, do you see anything in it?
I saw a tiger, but obviously I'm not very smart. So,
No, not a tiger. Do you see?
uh hmm.
No,
No, what is it?
it's two women's faces.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't
Yeah.
isn't isn't like that the cool thing about art though? Because like, for example, I saw a tiger, I actually saw a tiger, but like art you could like see different things. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But hey, I wanted to start with your book. This is how
Oh,
I became known of you was Gracefully Gone because I thought it was so beautiful about your relationship with your father and like it really hit me like I haven't lost my actual father, but I lost someone who I considered to be my father. So like it was very emotional and it was very I thought it was very beautiful. And I just wanted to ask like what gave you the idea? Because I know some of it he wrote and some of it you wrote, but I wanted to know what gave you that idea to combine these. They were kind of like journal entries together.
yeah. Yeah. How did you find Gracefully Gone on
Uh,
Amazon.com?
on Amazon, yeah, I did. But I found it because my friend has interviewed you a couple times and
Oh,
Steve Cooper.
oh,
And
yes. Great.
yeah, yeah. And then so like, I was listening to that. I dropped the mic. One second. Sorry, I'm clumsy. So I was listening to that and I was like, "Holy Lord, that sounds like a great book." So I read the book and I just thought it was amazing.
Thank you. Well, my dad kept his journal retrospect. Well, yeah, I guess he started to write it in 83. He was diagnosed in 1980 with brain cancer. So he went through his surgery and his radiation, and then he started to write this journal, this manuscript. And I think I had some knowledge of it
Yeah.
because he began to die and I moved home back to Huntington from NYU. I was this was all kind of going on while I was in college. Actually, that's not true. This was I when he began to die, I was in college, and so I moved home to help out, and I started to keep a journal.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of sat there until around 95, about 94, 95. I started to kind of try to figure out how I could splice it together. And it actually took a girlfriend of mine, Diane Farr, who everybody may know, who's a wonderful actress and a writer, who kind of, over my three pregnancies, like kind of helped me splice it together.
Yeah.
And so that I could go back and forth in time. And so basically, it's a decade-long conversation between my father and I. And obviously, what he was going through when he was just diagnosed and his surgery, and then subsequently, what I was going through as I took care of him.
Yeah, and I think like that's part of the uniqueness of why I liked it so much because you're right. It was like kind of like a conversation.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering like how do you get that idea to just do that? Like that you know what I mean? Like that because I don't know if that was like a spur of a moment thing like you thought, "Oh, maybe this is cool," or maybe you put thought into it like thinking, "Hey, this could work."
No, no, no. It took me 22 years. It took
Yeah.
me 22 years to actually get it into book form. But that's the way my brain works.
Yeah.
I just think very differently, I think. And I like to tell stories in a way that are not linear.
Yeah.
I like for people to work a little bit in order to understand my stories.
Yeah,
Um,
I get that.
yeah. So I figured what better way to tell. our story than to tell our story. And that's, my father's side and my side.
Yeah. And then after you finished it, like, did you like just, I mean, I don't know, it might be phrasing it wrong, but did you just come to peace? Like, okay, we did it together. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I've never really had that about I mean, I'm at peace that my father is no longer with us because I have to be, but I will never be at peace with what that experience was like. And
Yeah.
then no, because I wasn't done. And so then I went and I shot my first short film called Between Us, starring Gil Bellows. Um, and and I keep telling my story. I just keep telling it over and over again in just different ways. I
Yeah.
just keep churning it out until, I'll be doing that till I take my last breath.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you just released you just did a second short film, right?
And I just did my second short film,
Yeah.
which I wrote and directed and produced, starring Jane Seymour,
Yeah.
Zach Barrick, and Diana Liu. We just won Best Short at the Hot Springs Women's International Film Festival, and we're in a bunch of festivals. We're waiting on more. But it's really been it's been wonderful. It's been a real journey.
Yeah. So like how is it, because like I just know about like feature films and stuff like shorts. I don't really know much about shorts. Like can people only watch it and the festival circuit or
Yes, well, once it's done with the festival circuit, I will release it on YouTube.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I'll release it so that everybody can have access to it. Um, I think there is an art to shooting a short film. There's an art to writing it. There's an art to shooting it because you just don't want to make it a mini feature.
Yeah.
It has to be self-contained. It has to have a very clear beginning, middle, and an end, right?
Yeah.
So, it can't dawdle. It can't, take a nap. It has to move. It has to engage you quickly. And then it has to let you go quickly.
Yeah. So it's like it can't have any fat on it. It has to be straight. Yeah.
Gotta trim the fat. Exactly. You gotta
Yeah.
trim the fat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like on a normal script, like in a movie, it's probably 90 to 100 and 20 pages. On a show, it's probably 60 to
I think
65. Yeah. Well, what's the short? Like, how did you write that? Like, how many pages was that when
12
you wrote it?
pages. It was like
I'm sorry,
12 pages.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it an easy 12 pages to write, or did you just keep like redoing it?
No, it took me 3 years
Yeah.
to I'm a marinator, I'm a percolator. I have to kind of let things bubble inside me until I figure out what it is that I want to say about it. Um, and then once I figure it out, I don't even know that I figured it out. Then I get this urge, and then I just sit down and I write it. So it maybe took me a couple hours to write it.
Yeah. But altogether, it took a
3 years
long.
and a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people don't realize that like on like the pages on a script, it does take a lot of time. And I think people think like it just gets sped through written. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I don't know any, I think there are other people like me. There are other filmmakers like me who percolate on things for a bit and then just sit down and spit it out.
Yeah.
Um, and then there are other people who just sit down and write daily. They just sit down and write daily. I've never been that person. I mean, I have a book of essays I have yet to release. I do write, but when I write a short script, I usually just, or even a script, because my first one, Between Us, I have like four more scripts. Like it could be a nice limited release series. So even when I do those, I usually think about it and then I just sit down and do it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. And like I said, I really thought your book was great. So thanks for writing that.
Thank you. And thank you for giving it a plug here. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
definitely. Yeah. And then I wanted to ask you because you started on was Another World your first thing that you started on, because that was a soap opera type of thing, right?
No, my my first gig was a Hyundai commercial where I went, ooh.
Oh yeah.
Um, Yeah. And then I did a movie of the week.
Oh,
Um, movie of the week down in Florida. Um, then I did an episode of Against the Law.
yeah.
Um, and then I did MTV's Remote Control. Actually, I am so lying to you right now.
Are you?
It was Hyundai commercial. I'm lying. I'm straight up lying. I did
I,
Hyundai commercial, remote, and then Remote Control, MTV's Remote Control. So
oh,
I did that with Colin Quinn and Ken Ober, the late great Ken Ober, Adam Sandler, Dennis Leary, Mario Joyner. It was a lot of fun.
oh,
Another World came after I graduated from college. I
oh.
graduated, yeah, in June, and then I got Another World in April.
Uh, well, thank you so much for telling me that you were lying to me because I have Asperger's, so I can't tell. So, I mean, I just take everyone for their word for it. Like, ah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't do that now. We're all a bunch of fucking liars.
oh, I mean, I guess I mean, I always thought people were truthful, but I mean, yeah, I just
No,
find out they're liars when I see like the knife in my back. I don't know.
of course, exactly.
But so like how is like another world? Because I also heard that like after you stopped working on it, you did a job to pay your bills, and I just thought like that was pretty cool because you got to do what you got to do. So like how is that? You know, because that's a struggle, you know what I mean? And you're still living your dream.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm the personality that I actually like should have just done what I said I was going to do when I went to college, which was become a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's my personality. My personality is 9 to 5, right? I like to get in, I like to get out. So I did Another World, and that was incredible. I did that, and then there was a time for me to leave. Looking back on it, I wonder, did I do the right thing? But well, I can't rewrite history. So
Right.
I came out to LA and I was working. I did pilots. I did, I was doing recurs. I was guest starring. I mean, I was working. But yeah, there came a time, which has always happened in my career, where all of a sudden I'm like, I have to get like, I was a hostess. And my husband, who was not my husband at the time, he was my boyfriend at the time. He got a bartending job, and I was a hostess at this restaurant. And you do what you got to do, to
Yeah.
pay the bills. I did that for a little bit, and then I got a series. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, this business is not for the faint of heart. It is not.
No.
It's up, down, and zigzag, and you don't know. You're broke one day, or and then the next day,
You're
you
loaded.
loaded in you've got a new car. You never know. You don't know.
Yeah. About the pilots, I wanted to ask you because I've only done two pilots and, I do stand-up comedy, so I don't really do acting. But the two pilots I did, I knew for sure they weren't going to get picked up because they were terrible. So I wanted to ask you, like, when you did the pilot, did you like think, okay, this is just a job, a quick paycheck, or did you think like it was going because I know there's also network decisions and all this stuff too.
Well, the first pilot I did, I knew it was not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I just knew it. I knew that was just like one paycheck and, sayonara. But the fact of the matter is, like, I have found in my career that if I truly hate something, it's going to be a huge hit. It's going to be a huge hit. But if I love something, it's never going to see the light of day.
Oh my God. Isn't
Yeah.
that funny? Like how that is though?
Yeah. Like when I read something, I'm like, I tell my manager, this is fucking awful. I'm in. Sign me up. Go
Oh
on
my.
for 7 years.
Uh, and it's just like I don't know if it's like if it's projects that like that you're drawn to that you really want to do, but then like if there's another project that you don't want to do, and say like you turned it down and someone else did it, and it's like a massive hit, and you're like, oh, why did I turn that down? You know?
Sure. Happens all the time.
I don't know, but yeah. So I wanted to ask, and when you got on the Comedy Central with Colin Quinn, like how was that? Like because he's one of my favorite comics.
Well, that was MTV.
Oh,
And
MTV. I thought it
yes,
was
I
on.
would
Oh.
Yeah, and I was the hostess.
Oh,
And Colin, yeah, Colin's amazing. I love Colin. I think he quite possibly is one of the most brilliant men I've ever known.
oh, yeah, that's nice to hear.
Although then
Have
again, I've never met a dumb, brilliant stand-up.
you've never
Never.
met a dumb, brilliant stand-up?
I don't think they exist.
Oh, oh, I was kind of hoping I'd be the first dumb, brilliant stand-up you met.
No. Uh-uh.
Uh,
I again, I've also never really met a dumb, brilliant actor. I met
really?
an brilliant actor.
Yeah.
I met a couple of really, not very nice people, but I've never met a dumb one.
Wow.
I find that the higher up you are in your artistic field, I think the smarter you are.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. My best friend, he's no longer with us, but he was like the smartest guy in the world, but in the public eye, he acted like he was the stupidest guy in the
Sure, sure.
and I think like that really helped him.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear he's no longer with us.
Oh, well, life happens, so it's one of those things where like also maybe with my Asperger's, I try not like at the time it really affected me, but now it's like healthy for me to talk about and just like give nice stories and stuff. But it's not like I cry about it every night anymore. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, and then yeah, the when you did the Nicolas Cage National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets or Chamber of Secrets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Book.
Book of Secrets, yeah. So how is that? Because those movies are so written so carefully because of the history. Like it's like a maze script. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that and I did a series called Blood and Treasure,
Yeah,
which also I would read the scripts. Steven Skaya and Matt Fetterman, two really smart cats. And I would read the script and then I would be Googling and because I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I'm Googling to find out about it. And that was the same, with National Treasure, the Wibberleys, I believe, their again, their historical acumen is just astounding.
yeah.
And it was fun to shoot. I mean, it was really fun. We took over the Radisson Hotel in wait, where's Mount Rushmore? South or North Dakota?
I've never been to Mount Rushmore. I want to say it
I want
sounds
to say South, but
south. Yeah,
I'm Googling right now because now we both sound like
dumb
ding, yeah,
actors.
dumb actors and dumb. Um, Hold on. Mount Rushmore, okay, is in South Dakota. See what?
Oh, we're the smartest people in the world. Air five.
Yes. So we all took over. We took over this Radisson Hotel.
Yeah.
So it was me and Harvey Keitel and Dame Helen Mirren, and we were all like in this one hotel, and it was great. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. How intense is it to like, because I've heard like stuff about certain actors and like, if I don't, if it's bad or good experience, but just like how does it make you like a better actor like when you're working with someone like Nicolas Cage? Like, do you learn stuff when you're acting with him?
Oh, of course. I mean, you only listen, you're only as good really as your partner. And when you're playing tennis with somebody who's better than you, it's only going to raise your game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, working with Helen, working with Harvey, I mean, it's and Nick, I mean, they're legends. So
Yeah.
to work, it's pretty incredible.
And I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but I gotta ask you this because I think it's curious. Like when you worked with Nicolas Cage, did you ever think to yourself, I think we're related?
We actually had that conversation. We
Oh,
did.
did you really?
He said, I think we're related because we're from the same town in
Yeah.
Italy. And if you were to see, well, you actually have my book. So if you look at the picture of my dad and I on the back, and if you look at Francis Ford Coppola, they look
Yeah,
very, very similar. Very, very
yeah,
similar.
yeah. I think a lot of people don't know Nicolas Cage is in that family unless you're like, around like when he was starting and stuff. But like my
Right.
generation,
Yeah. Well, he took his mother's maiden name.
yeah. So, and then I wanted to ask you, like, what, like, when you did Two and a Half Men, because you do a lot of Chuck, I'm gonna say his last name wrong, but
Chuck Lorre. Chuck Lorre.
Chuck
Yeah.
Lorre, yeah.
Yeah. Chuck Lorre and John Turteltaub are the only two people in Hollywood who think I'm funny.
Oh, I think you're great. So there you have three people. But no, those are the names that will help you. But
Yes.
like, how is that? Because like Two and a Half Men, I know I look like the kid from Two and a Half Men, but we didn't work together. But I wanted to know, like, how was that like?
It was great. I mean, I was lucky I got to do it with Charlie. I'm in fact, I did Sugar Hill. I've only ever done 3 sitcoms.
Yeah,
Um, and 2 were with Charlie. And then I did the one with Ashton.
yeah.
The Yeah. And that was fun too. I enjoyed him. In fact, I had a good time.
Do you like doing, because I don't know, ever since COVID, but before they used to do like in a studio, like a comedy show, like people go and you see take after take, a live audience type of thing. I don't know how it is now, but did you like doing that type of stuff?
No,
Oh,
no, it's not my milieu. It's not I don't find it interesting.
yeah.
I mean, listen, it's a lot like soap operas. You're using tape, cable cameras,
Yeah.
and it's fast. But it didn't the process of it was not very interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't
Does it?
find proms very interesting.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. I was
I
gonna
mean,
say,
do any exist today?
like sitcoms with the laugh tracks. I
Yeah, does that exist today?
I don't think so. I think it was slowly dying when I was, coming up. But yeah, I don't think there's any.
Maybe the Connors? Is that still on?
The Connors, yeah, but I mean, I don't think that's. I think they use all the old laughs from Roseanne or something. I don't know,
I don't know.
but
Yeah. Anyway.
but yeah, but like that's kind of like a genius in a way, or maybe not so genius, but like you go see like the funniest sitcom of like, what's your favorite sitcom you've ever watched?
Me?
Yeah,
Well, when I was a child, I guess it would have been Happy Days and
yeah,
Laverne Shirley and anything Norman Lear, All in the Family, the the we're moving on up to the east side. What was it called?
I don't know.
You
I want to say the Little Rascals, but you're gonna look at me and think I'm
Oh,
stupid.
Rascal. Oh, black and white. Oh my God. We need like a Q&A. Oh my God.
uh,
Come on now.
I'm sorry, I'm not Rain Man. I don't know
The
this.
Jeffersons. The Jeffersons.
Jeffersons. Oh, okay, yeah, Jeffersons. That was gonna be my 20th guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like, so say like they take the laugh track from the Jeffersons or Happy Days, right? And they played it on a sitcom like Sad Days, right?
Yeah.
It would be the laughs from Happy Days, but then like Sad Days, and you watch and you're like, this isn't funny, it's sad, but it's getting Happy Days laughs.
Sure.
You don't
Why
think
not?
that? Yeah, you don't think like that's kind of weird and interesting, like how technology can like change
Sure.
the type of humor and stuff. Wow.
Oh, of course. Well, it can also tell you what to find funny.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Can you define funny? Because I think you would be a brilliant stand-up.
I've done stand up. I
Oh,
actually I headlined at Caroline's.
oh, nice. How long ago was that? Was that fun?
That was like 2013 maybe, 2014. Yeah, it was great. I'm actually a very good stand up.
Yeah,
Um, and have you ever interviewed my TV husband, Adam Ferrara,
I
the
have
great?
not.
You have to interview him.
Ah,
He's actually headlining tomorrow night at Flappers. Um, yeah. Uh, I love doing it. I love writing it. I am good at it, and I would do it more, but the hours aren't for me.
Right, because it's a late night type thing.
Late night, I'm like in bed by 8.
Yeah, and plus you're also like a family person. You know, you have
A mother.
children and a husband. Yeah, so like you can't take them on the road with you.
No, not really. But then again, I go on the road all the time, but I go by myself.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yes, but
what I'm saying is like you can't say these are my plus four. Like on.
right,
But
exactly.
but yeah, so I wanted to ask you, like, have you ever like is your goal, because you just did a short film that you're going to release on YouTube after the festivals? Have you ever thought about like doing your own feature, like main screen movie that you want to direct or write?
Yeah, I'm thinking about actually making And You Are, which is my second short film with Jane, into a feature. I'm mulling that in my head right now.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
For,
yeah, that would be cool.
yeah. For the folks at home, can you explain what it is, or can you not like explain what the short's about? Because
Sure. So it's about a woman named Lynn who is in advancing stage of Alzheimer's, who
okay.
only has to prove that she exists, and her transgender grandson who desperately wants to erase his past because it never proved who he authentically was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Huh.
it's light,
Yeah.
it's light.
Yeah, and that's like two big serious stuff in a short too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Have you ever had anyone like with Alzheimer's, like, because that's like a very heartbreaking you know situation to have, when someone doesn't remember
Yes.
you.
Yeah, my nana had it and my mother is has it.
Yeah. So, and then so yeah, and then I wanted to ask you about why wouldn't women tell? And
Why women
yeah. And you worked with Jennifer Goodwin, and like she's like the coolest, right? Like
great.
yeah. She's my celebrity crush. So like what was that like working with her?
Oh my gosh, she would love to hear that. She's amazing. I have to say that in all my years, I've never had that kind of chemistry that I had with Jen. She's just an absolute doll and a friend, and she's just an open vessel. She's just completely open, and
Yeah.
we had a great time together.
Do you think like that, when you have that chemistry and stuff, do you think like that really like helps the project grow into multiple seasons? Because, you know,
Well, in our case, no, it didn't. But we definitely, I think, were. I mean, I loved our season of Why Women Kill, but I loved our storyline the most, obviously, because I was in it. But I just thought that we had a really special a bond, and you could feel that when
yeah.
you're watching the show. You could feel our connection.
Have you ever done a project where you felt you didn't have a bond with someone you were working with, and then like after you watched it, you're like, you know what I mean?
Sure, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
But that's your job. I mean, that's my job. My job is to find, like people say, how do you act like you're in love? Well, you find something that you're in love with about that person, and then
Yeah.
that becomes everything.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
your actor is to sell.
Yeah, my mom was like an actress, but she never like hit it big time. And someone asked her like, "How do you, act like you're in love?" And then she said, "Just don't be my husband."
That's funny.
Well, thank you. I finally got to make you laugh. All right, excellent. Uh, so I have three more questions for you because I want to respect your time. But I wanted to ask you, if you could go into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, and knowing everything that you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Mm, that's a great question. I would say stay in the saddle. It's going to be bumpy. It's not always going to go your way, but if you have the choice, always choose you.
Yeah. Nice. That's good. And when you say saddle, you mean like not like an actual saddle. You mean stay the
Oh, just
course.
stay
Oh,
the
okay.
course. Yeah,
Okay.
stay the course.
Excellent. Excellent. Because staying in a saddle would be very
Comfortable.
hot. And yeah, it could be comfortable if you like saddles. I don't know. But all right, cool. And then so if when you were starting out, if you know, because you got the job as a hostess and stuff, and then luckily the acting went back in your favor. If it didn't, what would you do like to keep the would you still be doing a profession like lawyering and still trying to act like what is it in your heart to keep going regardless if you haven't didn't hit that big break?
At this age,
Yeah.
I would become a prostitute. No, I think those days are done. Um, uh, let's hope that doesn't happen. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah. Well, because I'm in that saddle where like I haven't had a big break, but I still keep trying. But like I have a day job and I don't like it because I always think I'm a star.
You are a star.
Yeah, I'm a star of this
You
podcast.
are a star, and if you don't think you're a star, nobody else will. So I think I'm fantastic. Like I
Uh,
don't know what everybody's problem is. And you know what? Breaks come in weird ways. You don't know what a break is.
yeah,
Like I've had many breaks in my career. I have had many, many breaks. Um, it is what it is. It is
yeah,
what it That's why I always say, if you don't believe in you, then nobody will.
yeah, definitely.
Tell you how many people said, you can't write a book. Oh, okay. You can't publish the book. Okay.
And you did
You
both.
you can't, do a short film. Okay.
Yeah,
You'll never get Jane Seymour. Okay.
yeah,
That's why I always say that the most positive definition of spite is my favorite emotion.
yeah. And then when they say you won't be on Razor Riffs, you're like, okay.
Okay. Okay. Because that's what they said. You're not going to be on his show. And I was like, you watch me, motherfucker.
Uh, And then my last question, if you had merchandise like a shirt or something, what would your saying on your shirt be that that people would know about?
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Oh, that's a great shirt.
Fuck the right. Just fuck off.
That's a good shirt.
That's
Well,
it.
would you get the middle finger and then off or just right
Oh,
fuck?
fuck off.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
know.
Yeah, I like shirts, I like making funny shirts. Like my funniest shirt that I think that I have is I tell jokes at funerals and it has like a picture of a stick guy telling jokes at a funeral.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I think you're a little twisted. I like
I yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I might be twisted. I don't know, but yeah, to
I'm
me it's
twisted. I find the most interesting people are the most twisted.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. My
Yeah,
family doesn't agree. They think I'm odd, and I'm like, oh, like
but that's the beauty.
yeah, like I'll give you an example. We were watching this show called Forensic Files, and it was like about killing and stuff. And the guy on Forensic Files, he says, Julie axed this girl Bethany 41 times, and then I swear he says a world record, and I just started laughing, and my And I started laughing like you, and my family's like, "Why are you laughing? That's not funny." I was like, "How does he know what the world
World
record is?"
record of axing somebody. You got to get him on the show.
Yeah, but it's just like that's one of those things where like I don't know if he just said it to say it but so now if you ever want to axe someone to death, you better axe him 42 times at least.
42 times.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Well, just so you know, I don't like driving on highways.
Yeah.
So the only way I can do it is to have true crime podcasts on. So I have to listen to like the worst murders
Yeah.
in order to drive on the highway, because then it gives my mind something to do
Oh my
while I'm
God.
driving so that I'm not afraid.
Yeah. But do you think like that's also like partly, I don't know, because I do listen to that stuff too, and I think like that's why they do it, because they want, I don't think they want to make people afraid. I think they want to make them interested then afraid. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know, like, ooh, I'm interested that someone got murdered 41 times with an axe. And now I'm afraid, I don't know. Well,
That's pretty funny. I would have laughed too at that.
oh, well, thank you.
Well, I did laugh. So
Yeah. Well, where can the folks at home follow and support you? And they could buy your book on the Amazon. But like, like, because I know you're not a big Twitter person, because I couldn't find you on Twitter.
no, I'm not on Twitter. I don't really like it. I don't even understand what Threads is.
Oh,
Um,
Threads is awesome.
I don't understand it. I don't know
Oh,
what it is. I'm on it, but I
yeah.
don't know how to be on it.
It's like
Uh,
sewing,
well, what do you mean?
because you use the threads and you sew.
What do you sew on Threads?
Oh no, I was just trying to make a bad true crimes joke.
No, I have no idea what it is. But so on Instagram, I'm at Alicia_Coppola. That's pretty much it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having me. You're very you're enjoyable.
Oh, okay. I'll take enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it and run with it.
Yeah. Was it'll be like, hey, was that a good interview? Yeah, it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable.
Awesome. Cool.
I
I'll
find you
take.
enjoyable. Yeah, and go interview Adam Ferrara.
Oh, you think he'll say yes?
Oh, he'll do what I tell him to do.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. I'll ask him then. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
All
Air
right.
5, and we'll see you later. And let me know when you put that thing on the YouTube, because I seriously have no idea where to find shorts, but I would love to watch that. That looks
Yes,
very
as
interesting.
you are. We'll see what happens. Or maybe I'll manifest right here that a shorts program picks it up and puts it out. So we'll see.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Cool. Well,
All
thank
right.
you, Peter. Thank you.
All right. Well, have a great day.
Bye-bye.
All right. And big music cue. All right. Cool. All right. That was an interview with Alicia Coppola. All right, guys.